Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 23 live feed spoilers. This is the Power of Veto edition because we have a lot to discuss when it comes to said veto.
Yeah, I mean, we will get into the winner. We will get into what Tiffany's going to do about this winner. There is definitely a lot to talk about.
There's so much strategy, in fact, that there was all this hype about Zingbot. We don't even really have anything Zingbot related to talk about in this video.
I'm okay with that. I know that usually we get a couple of the zings early off the live feeds, but there is still something just so fun about watching him during the show and getting them all fresh and instead of like hearing them secondhand, watching what he says, watching the reactions. It's so good. It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
That is one of the funniest things about Big Brother, like covering the live feeds, is that we could come on here and we could tell you Xavier goes and makes a sandwich, it's this, it's that. We could tell you every strategy conversation in the world. But if we spoil Zingbot's jokes, there would be like 5 people setting us on fire online.
It happens every season, so I'm not mad that we don't know what they are to come on here and spoil it for the people that do want to know.
Well, okay, we'll get into the gameplay, the nominations, everything today, but before we dive into anything here, there is that subscribe button. It is there. It is awaiting you to press it in the event you're not subscribed already.
Yeah, if you're enjoying the content that we're giving you with Big Brother or any of the other shows that we cover, like Power Book 3 coming up tonight, Raising Canaan. We have reviews on that every Saturday night. So hit that subscribe button and, of course, follow us over on Instagram, which is Matt and Jess TV. We have a ton of new photos up, including our popsicle dinner that we had last night because, popsicles, it was good. Listen, I feel fine about it.
We have ate really great health food over the past 24 hours. We have, for starters, popsicle dinner. I had donut breakfast this morning, which consisted of me getting the Nutella donut that everybody voted for second place last time. And then
how was it?
It was delicious. It was so much better than the tofu chicken wings I made tonight, which were burned to absolute oblivion. We do not need to talk about those.
Yeah, usually, Matt will eat his donuts away from the house to try not to make me feel bad about it because I am gluten-free. I have celiac disease. Yeah. I can't eat it even if I wanted to, which I do really want to. Yeah. So he usually keeps them away from the house. I was thinking kind of maybe I wanted to smell that Nutella donut and just kind of be like,
what? Why?
Just live through you. But I just couldn't do it. So he was nice enough to eat it at the donut shop.
That is the nice way to go. Okay, so the nominations, we didn't have them confirmed in yesterday's update, but we all knew what they were going to be.
Yeah, they were going to be Xavier and Alyssa, and they were. That is who Tiffany put up. She's the HOH, just in case everyone's kind of out of the loop on that one, which I know you guys aren't.
No, the thing that's so weird and bizarre, and we'll talk a lot about this as this video goes on, is that there is so much acting going on the feeds right now just because, like, the entire Cookout is so desperate to have a way to sell every move to these 2 people who don't really know about it. And it was like, with these nominations, it's easy to sell this to Alyssa and just sort of be like, okay, you know what, you and Xavier, you're perceived as a duo. This is why you're threatening to me, Tiffany, the HOH, who is not in an alliance that has 6 other people in it called the Cookout.
Yeah, it was a very easy sell, but at the same time, the idea of the Cookout Alliance actually just kind of being out there in the open right now, it doesn't really matter anymore. They control the votes.
Yeah, and the only real tremendous way we would get absolute chaos going into the veto today was in the event that, like, Claire got the play and then Claire won it and then Claire removed Alyssa, which was never even going to happen.
No, that was never on the board, but that would have been hilarious.
It would have been like, we're gonna be talking about some Spitfire going on in the game, but that would have been like absolute house nearly burning down level chaos.
Now, before the veto was played, I mean, Tiffany recognized that there was the possibility that Alyssa was going to come down or Xavier was going to come down, that Claire was actually going to have to go up, and I mean, that's sort of her duo outside of the cookout. And she's really done an excellent job making Claire feel like they are in this together. They are going far together. So what ended up happening here? Okay, listen. So the players were Tiffany, Xavier, Alyssa, Azza, Derek, Hannah, and Alyssa won. So Alyssa, of course, is going to take herself off the block, and that leaves Tiffany in this really crappy spot where she somehow has to come up with some reason to put Claire up.
I am so fascinated with every little thing that's going to happen here moving forward, which, by the way, quick aside, this was the like tiny veto competition apparently that Dave Vaughn won last season. I don't know if this is going to be how it's on the show, but this is kind of how I want it to be, because that competition, it's all about focus, right? It's all about, you got to sit here and this is the competition I would be spending 3 days trying to do with cerebral palsy. It would not work for me at all.
Oh, it would not work for me either. Besides having not the greatest vision, I am so clumsy. Everything I touch drops. Everywhere I go, I fall. It would be really bad.
I want this competition to be, they're all working on trying to do this, and in the background it's sort of like, hey, Xavier, why are you struggling? And just like have Zingbot be like the heckler during this competition and see if anybody like goes and tries to tackle Zingbot during the competition.
I would love that.
That would be the dream. But no, okay, so yeah. This is the tough position that Tiffany is in now, because she's got to find a way to sell this. She's got to try to find... This is all just complete and total worst case scenario for her.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I feel bad for her, because really, up until this point, I mean, Tiffany's been playing a really solid game. She hasn't had to come up against anything yet, but when Tiffany ends up winning this game, or if she ends up winning this game, this is the type of stuff that I want to see happen for whoever the winner is. They have to be up against some sort of adversity in this game to have to make those tough choices. And, let's see what you're made of.
Yeah, and, whatever Tiffany decides to say is probably not even clear to any of us at the moment. I mean, we saw a little bit of the feeds after the veto, but she's a smart person. She's probably going to take a lot of time to sort of think about this. I mean, from what we've seen, she's clearly not happy. Like, she recognizes the situation that she is in, but she is just grumpy, not loving it, not enjoying this in the slightest.
No, and I mean, she's talked about trying to convince Alyssa to use this veto on Xavier, but I mean, Xavier doesn't like this plan. I'm sure he doesn't want to have her look like a clown going out, because that's not good for Xavier at the end if he wants Alyssa's vote. If he does something like that, I mean, that's just going to roll back on him.
This is one of those things where, from the outside looking in, if Tiffany managed to convince Alyssa to use the veto on Xavier, there's a part of us that I think would all be like, yeah, epic move, you fool. But then we all got to remember, these people are people. I know that sounds a really silly way to put it, but, Alyssa's a human being with thoughts and feelings, and I already give her a lot of credit because she looked like she was ready to throw in the towel not that long ago when she went out and won the veto today. I just think humiliating her is not going to be the way to get her jury vote, to get her respect. I mean, that will be something that sticks with her for the rest of her life.
No, it would be really bad. I mean, if Xavier did that, or if she felt that Tiffany had a hand in that, if either one of them then were sitting at the end against anybody else, they've lost her vote. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. You might end up losing other people on the jury's vote as well if they hear that and they're like, wow, that's kind of cruel. I can't believe they convinced you to do that.
Yeah, because the thing of it is that both Alyssa and Claire have to go, and the plan is they're going before the cookout goes, and the cookout has the numbers. So does it matter if it's this week or next week or double? It doesn't matter when they go. They're gonna go one after the other. So just let it be what it's gonna be. Tiffany just gotta suck it up, and Claire's gotta go.
All right, I think it's time we bust out our, really showcase our big brain energy here on the channel, because,
big brain.
Okay, well, I don't know if this is big brain. This may be chaotic brain, but this is what I would do. Tell her about the cookout. And the reason
I was thinking exactly the same thing. Like, exactly the same thing. I actually think that's the only move she actually has to make sure that Claire would still have respect for her.
Yeah, and this is why we got the big brain energy. We're on the same wavelength here. It's
big brain.
Yeah, see, I know it's a risk, and I know the Cookout is probably a little bit worried, and they've talked about this. They're worried about a battle back and somebody coming back into the game. We know there's probably not one, they don't, but at the end of the day, let's say there was a battle back. You would have 2 people outside the Cookout moving into the next week. At a certain point in the game, you gotta just be like, all in, shove your chips in. I'm not sure this is a good idea. I'm not enough of a poker player to do it in poker, but in Big Brother at this point, have faith in your alliance. Just tell her, you save yourself the headache, you save yourself, Claire looking like a fool if you come up with some just like crazy cockamamie scheme that she's not going to believe.
No, because then if she ends up going and you're really not able to sort of smooth it over with jury management, I mean, Claire going on Tiffany's HOH, Claire, I mean, I know that she's a game player and that she'll respect good gameplay, but again, you can't make people look like a clown going out the door. They will respect your gameplay if there's a little bit of honesty in that gameplay. Yeah. Own your game.
There's another part of this where Xavier was sort of talking to Hannah about trying to tell Alyssa that, Tiffany wants to ensure that Xavier goes, and that she's probably going to want to nominate someone up against him that's a pawn, hence Claire, so he's trying to already come up with an argument that, okay, Alyssa won't push too hard for Kyland to go up on the block, and it's like, all of this stuff is just it's so complicated, and then you're going to make Alyssa look kind of silly anyway. Just throw it all out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, we're about to go even bigger brain energy here, because we're going to talk about... Hello! See, there's a moment where coming up with this theory, I was like pacing around the room. Okay, this is what I was sort of thinking, because, okay, production usually would absolutely hate this. Production never likes somebody knowing that they're going for sure early on in the week.
It is true.
But here's the thing, Big Brother producers. If you have a moment where you're just like, okay, Tiffany's going to bring Claire into a room, maybe a lot of other people are there, who cares? But she tells her about the Cookout. It's this fantastic TV moment that you have not had all season, where Tiffany can sit down and explain, this is the mission, this is what we've all been trying to do. We're trying to do something that's never happened in Big Brother before.
Yeah.
I think Claire, as a longtime fan of the game, would respect that. She would understand that.
Yep.
And then I know production, you guys would probably have your concerns of, well, if she knows, then we're not going to have any drama in Thursday's show. Guess what? Thursday's a double eviction.
That's right.
People are already going to watch.
Yeah. Nobody's going to bail out because of that. Like, it's just, listen, it's the move that she needs to make. She really does. And, production doesn't like it, go kick rocks. I'm sorry. Like, sometimes you do just have to do what's best for your game. And for Tiffany putting up Claire, I honestly think that honesty is just the only way to go with this. She just can't have her go out like that.
Here's another exciting idea with all of this, is that if they all know about the Cookout, once again, production, here's what you can think about. Alyssa will be going into that double eviction knowing it's me against the world. Isn't that a great narrative? Like, isn't that a cool thing to sell?
Yeah, it is.
And look, Alyssa just won the veto. She's capable.
She is capable.
I want ultimately somebody in the Cookout to win the game because they deserve it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with Alyssa. Even if Alyssa wins this next HOH and is able to take out one person from the Cookout, Alyssa's just going to end up going next. Yeah. Like, it's just, she's not going to win her way to the end. There's too many competitions left. Like, it would be crazy to watch her win her way to the end, but that is the only way she is getting to the end in this. So, it might give us a week of excitement or 5 minutes of excitement at the temple. But I mean, it's, it is what it is.
Yeah, and like the only other thing I thought about maybe was that Tiffany could just go after Kyland now, but
I don't think she's going to.
No, I don't think she's going to. I think it's too risky. But that is what we got for you guys right now. So if you guys got some of the big brain energy out there and you've got something going on that we've missed, let us know your theory as to how Tiffany can get herself out of this precarious position in the comments.
Yeah. Give us your big brain.
Thank you.
Big brain.
Also, subscribe to this channel. Give us a like. Thank you guys so much. Also, we put up a Survivor preview earlier this week, so take a look at that.
And don't forget about Power tonight. If you guys are not watching Raising Kanan, it is so good. It is so good. Like, they've kept up the energy all season so far. Every single episode is better than the next. It's crazy how good this show is.
Thank you guys. We hope you check that out. We'll see you next time.